What's up, guys? Welcome to the Wolf of Young Street podcast. My name is Victor. I'm your host. Kamala Harris has just officially hit the campaign trail. Yep, yep. And I've got all those quotes for you from her inaugural speech in Wisconsin today. We're going to be reacting to those. And just not too long ago, maybe a few hours ago, or a few minutes ago, Mr. Trump, in classic Trump ways, has replied. All right. So it's gonna be a pack show. It's gonna be a pack show this evening. Let's go. Let's get it. I'm gonna start with those with Kamala Harris's press conference. You all feel free to get in the chat and comment your thoughts, make your thoughts known. I love to hear from you, of course. If you're not subscribed already, don't forget to subscribe. So let's go. Let's go. Let's go. There's so much to cover here. So let's talk about it. All right. All right. All right, so I'm going to skip over the first portion of this just because a lot of it is just her kind of saying hello to people and sort of glazing or campaigning for others. Not really important for what we're trying to do here, so we'll skip that.
Back. Thank you all very much.
All right, there's still
Can
more
we
thank
please
yous
hear it
here.
for Leah and
Yeah, I'm
Kurt?
going to
They
skip
teach
that too.
other people's children, and God knows we don't pay them enough.
All right.
Let's thank you that the folks that are here are going to make sure you return her to Washington, D.C. in November.
Okay. All right.
Governor Sarah Rodriguez. Hey, Sarah Godlewski.
Oh, I swear that went on so long. It was 4 minutes and 45 seconds of that of the speech. The first part of the speech was just her talking about other people. It's not what we want to hear. Come on.
So, Wisconsin, I am told as of this morning that we have earned the support of enough delegates to secure the Democratic nomination.
Okay. So that's the first part we need to talk about, right? So when we went live on Sunday was when it became clear that Joe Biden was dropping out of the presidential race. We said, well, there's a few ways the Democrats can go here. They can choose to go the democratic route in terms of give everybody a chance and eventually a candidate emerges. Well, that's not the way they've chosen to do it here. It looks like Kamala Harris has secured the support of the delegates who obviously Joe Biden already secured those delegates, so to speak, during his own campaign run, and it seemed like those people were pretty comfortable just shifting to Kamala Harris. Not sure. I'm sure the Republicans are going to attack this, but there it goes. And I can understand it from the strategic perspective in the sense that the Democratic convention isn't till the middle to the end of August, and at this point, as we are right now, Democrats knowing that they're down in the polls, with 100 days to the election, they want to. It sounds to me like they want to try and catch up as much as possible, and then build up on some momentum during their convention. I'm sure the Republicans are going to have something to say about that. But let's proceed. All right.
So, friends, we have 105 days until Election Day.
Okay.
And in that time, we've got some work to do.
Mm.
But we're not afraid of hard work. We like hard work, don't we? And we will win this election.
Starting real strong.
Yes, we will. So, as Leah told you, before I was elected vice president, before I was elected United States Senator, I was elected Attorney General of the state of California, and I was a courtroom prosecutor before then. And in those roles, I took on perpetrators of all kinds. Predators who abused women, fraudsters who ripped off consumers, cheaters who broke the rules for their own gain. So So hear me when I say, I know Donald Trump's type.
Oh my God. She just went right at Donald Trump's chest there. Oh, holy cow. She okay. She just all right. She just oh my God. I hope she's ready for the fist fight, because I know Donald Trump ain't taking that shit sitting down. But here's what it is though. Let's be serious now. She this nothing there's nothing new about the rhetoric that she just put forward. She is literally she's echoing the same things that Biden has said, which are factual about Donald Trump. Now, the Republicans have an easy out here. And they'll say what they've always said, which is, the they need to drain the swamp. The system is corrupt. The system is against Donald Trump. So there's nothing new here. There's still it's a sort of a restatement of the same rhetoric that was existing between Biden and Donald Trump. Only this time you don't have the rambling. You just have, Kamala comes off as clear in the way she's speaking here. So people are able to probably latch on, and trust me, they did latch on to these these first few statements that she made. Oh my God, it was all over social media. But let's go now. All right, I'm gonna skip that part.
I promise you, I will proudly put my record against his any day of the week.
Okay. All right.
As Attorney General of California, I took on one of our country's largest for-profit colleges that was scamming students. Donald Trump ran a for-profit college that scammed students.
Okay.
As a prosecutor, I specialized in cases involving sexual abuse. Well, Trump was found liable for committing sexual abuse.
All right.
As Attorney General of California, I took on the big Wall Street banks and held them accountable for fraud. Donald Trump was just found guilty of fraud on 34 counts.
Okay. All right. That's interesting. So again, she said all these things, but she's playing a dangerous game here, because, well, Donald Trump Donald Trump and the people around him can easily go, well, a lot of these things, a lot of these prosecutions and stuff only happened during the Biden Biden tenure. So what does that tell you? What does that tell you? Does that not point to the corruption that he's always said was existing within the system? I'm not going to talk too much about that. I'm going to skip ahead of this to.
But let's also make. This is about who we fight for. Just look at how we are running our campaigns. So Donald Trump is relying on support from billionaires and big corporations. And he is trading access in exchange for campaign contributions. A couple of months ago, you all saw that a couple of months ago at Mar-a-Lago, he literally promised big oil companies, big oil lobbyists, he would do their bidding for $1 billion in campaign donations.
Okay. I'm not gonna confirm or deny these allegations from her, because who knows, right? A lot of these things can be propaganda, but here's what we know, right? In the wake of the Trump assassination attempt, a lot of CEOs and heads of organizations, Elon Musk, committed to donating to the Trump campaign, right? They formally endorsed Donald Trump, right? Although, in classic Elon Musk fashion, he recently said he never said that, and seems to be backing out of that commitment to Donald Trump. So make of that what you will. But again, this is subjective depending on what side of the divide you sit on, right? It is what it is, right?
On the other hand, we are running a people-powered campaign.
All right. I'm gonna skip this part up to because I really want to get to the meat of the bones on here.
Of grassroots fundraising.
Okay.
And because we are a people-powered campaign, that is how you know we will be a people-first presidency.
Okay.
For our nation. One where we are focused on the future. The other focused on the past.
All right.
Every person has the opportunity not just to get by, but to get ahead.
Okay.
A future where no child has to grow up in poverty. Where every worker has the freedom to join a union.
Okay.
Where every person has affordable health care, affordable child care.
Okay. A lot of this is just, riling up the people. When we let's take a look at what I think it's safe to assume that Joe Biden's record can be, if we equate that to a Kamala Harris record, what they've been able to do during the 3.5 years of the Democrats in government at the moment is they seem to have been able to create jobs, and many people seem to agree that in terms of populist policies, in terms of policies that benefit maybe the people in the lower income, the people at the lowest levels, that they've done well, it seems. So she's just obviously here, she's reiterating that. But she then eventually she gets to talking about her platform, which is really what I want to get to here. So I'm going to skip all of the all the other bits of information there. You guys feel free to check out the rest of that. I don't think it's important for the conversation we're trying to have here, so I'm going to skip those.
So all of this is to say, building up the middle class will be a defining goal of my presidency.
There we go. At last, Kamala, you finally got to where I wanted after all this time. Okay, so let's talk about her platform, right? So I'm gonna let you guys listen to this, and then I'll give you my thoughts, and we can kind of move along from there.
Because here's the thing we all here, Wisconsin, know. When our middle class is strong, America is strong. But Donald Trump wants to take our country backward. He and his extreme Project 2025 agenda will weaken the middle class. Like, we know we got to take this seriously. Can you believe they put that thing in writing? Read it. It's 900 pages. But here's the thing. When you read it, you will see Donald Trump intends to cut Social Security and Medicare.
All right. So there's a lot of like allegations thrown here, especially regarding Project 2025, and there's been a lot of controversy surrounding this, in the sense that the project, for those of you who are not following the news, Project 2025 is this controversial bill that's supposed to be the manifesto of the Republicans. It's supposed to, cut Social Security, affect a lot of the policies that the Democrats have put in place. And also, a lot of the Democrats have suggested it's even more sinister than that, in the sense that in changing these policies, the Republicans intend to effect mechanisms that make it difficult for those laws to ever be changed back, in terms of sort of embedding people in places and that kind of stuff. So that's the allegation. But if we're being balanced here, Donald Trump himself has denied it. Now, you can make of that what you will. You can sit there and compare what are Donald Trump's policies and his proposed platform versus what Project 2025 is, and see if it makes sense. But as of today, in this moment, Donald Trump has denied that his manifesto is Project 2025.
He intends to give tax breaks to billionaires and big corporations and make working families foot the bill. They intend to end the Affordable Care Act and take us back then to a time when insurance companies had the power to deny people with pre-existing conditions. Remember what that was like? Children with asthma, women who survived breast cancer, grandparents with diabetes. America has tried these failed economic policies before, but we are not going back.
Okay.
We are not going back. They fight for freedom. The shoulders on which we stand. Generations of Americans before us led the fight for freedom. And now, Wisconsin, the baton is in our freedom to vote, cast their ballot, and have it counted. And our nation who should have the freedom to live safe from the terror of gun violence.
Okay.
Will finally pass red flag laws, universal background checks, and an assault weapons ban.
Okay. Don't worry, guys. I'm gonna break down these. I'm gonna list these. What sounds like the core things, the core points in this platform that she's placed in front of us. And you guys can sort of crystallize those ideas in your head.
And we who believe in reproductive freedom will stop Donald Trump's extreme abortion bans because we trust women to make decisions about their own body.
Okay.
And not have their government tell them what to do.
Okay. So there's really 3 points or 4 points in sort of what she has stated here. Building up the middle class, that seems to be a key point she's running on. Obviously, it if you there's the belief that the Republicans are pursuing and some of the tax cuts and stuff that Donald Trump has been pushing are only going to favor the really wealthy, and she's proposing that the middle class are really the people she's concerned with. If you follow along the lines of the policies that Joe Biden has put in place, which is tax the rich and redistribute wealth, well, you can expect that to be continued under Kamala Harris. Gun control, that I think that was a really important point that she hit, though, because this is something that's long been controversial, especially with the lobbying of governments by the Rifle Association, and because obviously gun violence is really a big sensitive topic, and sort of the proliferation of that. So, and nothing makes gun control even more poignant than just think about it. The person that tried to assassinate Donald Trump, apparently this kid got a gun off his father, right? Now, well, like, took his father's gun. The gun was supposedly belonged to his father or something like that, or wherever he got the weapon from. How about we leave it at that? Wherever he got the weapon from, whether he got it from his father or he went to a store and bought it himself. Here's the thing: what practical purpose does the sniper rifle serve for a common person? Like, why do you need a sniper rifle? Like, it's one thing to enjoy guns as a hobby, but why do you need an assault rifle, right? So in this, I'm going to be honest with you. Personally, I agree with the fact that there should be some background checks. I think that, you know, having a rifle, for example, shouldn't be your everyday weapon. It shouldn't, like, it's one thing to have a sidearm for protection. It's another thing to have a sniper rifle. Like, why? you know. Anyways, she also hit reproductive freedom. Obviously, you know that, if you've been following, you know that Donald Trump, under Donald Trump's term, Roe v. Wade was overturned, and this overturning of Roe v. Wade returned the control of abortion rights to the states. Obviously, a lot of women have argued that this robs them of bodily autonomy, no, autonomy to be able to make that choice for themselves, because now from state to state, different states can choose to allow abortion, or allow restricted abortion, or not at all, or whatever. So the laws are then changed from state to state, making taking away some of the freedoms for a lot of women, obviously. So that's obviously been that's obviously a big thing that she potentially wins on. So she wins, I think, in terms of like gun control and reproductive freedom. She has some strong points there that probably favor her. Here's where she did not hit, though. Kamala Harris failed to hit the point of immigration. And you'll hear from Donald Trump's reply that he knows exactly where he's going to press, right? Okay, so I'm going to leave Kamala Harris's speech there, but I'm going to read you what Donald Trump replied, okay? Donald Trump has obviously replied in classic Donald Trump way, and by posting on social media and calling. And the first thing he says is, one of the things he says is, "Lying Kamala Harris destroys everything she touches," which is, like, that's the most classic Donald Trump response as possible. Um, and and obviously, you can expect the battle between these two, especially with Kamala Harris calling Donald Trump, a perpetrator of all sorts of heinous things, a fraudster, a cheat, all those kinds of all that stuff, and and where's the important point here? I'm gonna scroll through a lot of this. Okay. So on whether Trump was gonna, it was open to debating Kamala Harris. He says he hasn't agreed to anything. He agreed to debate Joe Biden, but he is gonna debate her, and he'll debate her anywhere, anytime, that kind of stuff. Really boisterous things from Donald Trump. But I think what's really important here is, um she eventually, or Donald Trump eventually talks about the sort of record levels of immigration across the U.S. Mexico border, and that's a failure. Now we can be honest with this, been a failure of the U.S. government, of the current U.S. government. The flood of people across the U.S. Mexico border, or at least the people regarded as a flaw. So that's a point that Kamala Harris did not hit, right? And that's a point that the Republicans are going to press home, right? The other thing is, in terms of, and these are some of the weaknesses that she's going to have to fight, right? The other one is the funding of wars, if you like, with the NATO Ukraine versus Russia thing, and there's obviously the Israel Gaza version of things. Um, but also Trump in classic Trump. Obviously, the Democrats have they were also they also called out the manner in which Kamala Harris has come into this nomination, saying, at first they started by saying, well, that's undemocratic, right? And it's unbecoming of a democratic party to just tap somebody, almost coronate somebody like that without going through due process. The Democrats decided not to take that to heart, and that's going to be something that the Republicans try and press home. Um, and Trump also just today pointed out the fact that, according to the Campaign Act of 1971, that the transfer of funds from a Joe Biden campaign to a Kamala Harris campaign is actually unlawful. Well, I'm sure there'll be more to speak about this in the in the coming days. But yeah, those were the really important. Those were the quotes from this. Uh, what do you guys think? Where do you guys think this race is gonna go? There've been so many twists and turns, and you can expect more in the coming days, because I don't think this is done. I don't think this is done, and it looks like Kamala Harris is looking for a fight, and I know that Donald Trump is ready for a fight. So it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. Do you guys? So what do you guys think? You guys reach out in the comments and let me know. Do you think Kamala Harris stands a chance? Do you think she's able to take on this seemingly a juggernaut that Donald Trump is? Do you think she can win? Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for listening. If you're new around here, don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you on the next one. Take care, guys.